there's a I actually screen capped it. There was a tweet by the American Psychological Association, and this was back I think back in 2015 or 2017, and the tweet was what 86 or 87% of psychology graduates and psychology professionals right now, marriage counselors, clinical psychologists, name the subfield of psychology, 86%, 87% are female.
Mm-hmm.
And the only ones that are in any way have more men in it, and they're all dominated by, and they have been for over a decade.
Yeah, the further from people you get, the more you get men in there. That's about the best you could do.
Mm-hmm. So when people when I look at Rolf Dengen's, critiques about like ovulatory shift, or even David Buss to a certain extent, it's like, you have to remember that the environment that those guys are in right now is not the same environment like from back in 1993. So when Steven Pinker was writing The Blank Slate back in the early 2000s, he can get away with that. He tries to publish that today, you're a Nazi. There's something wrong with you. Like you're not on the woke team.
Well, it's more subtle. It's like the ethics board can't approve it, and there'll be some bullshit excuse that has nothing to do with that. But that's essentially what it's getting to. Or
it'll never. Or if you want to do research on like a legitimate research on something that is in any way unflattering to the female nature or whatever,
nobody will give you a grant.
And even if you could get a grant, it would just go down a memory hole. And so you have to. Whenever I see studies, this is the meta-analysis. You've come to find out that like I know that there was meta-analysis of like Marty Hazelton's work on ovulatory shift that she did way back in the early 2000s, and then you come to find out that there was p-hacking in it. Like they're hacking the numbers basically to get the effects that they wanted for it. She talked about that on God Sod's show about a year or two ago, and I was like, yeah, you have to not only consider like dueling research papers, but you also have to consider the environment.
The replication crisis.
That they were in.
If you guys don't know the replication crisis, 60% of every study you have out there cannot be replicated. Like nobody can do it. So it's, and I hate to say this, but science is supposed to be like the scientific process is supposed to be a search for truth. We're at coin flips right now, boys. Actually worse than coin flips. A coin flip 50-50.